Hello fellow travelers, this is ST Traveler coming back to you with another video. I know it's been quite a bit and I apologize for waiting so long to do another video for you. There's just been a lot that's been going on. I've been doing a lot of traveling and I've also been trying to focus more on my work at home, so things have been kind of everywhere. But I'm back now and I'm ready to give you guys some information about where we recently were, which is Mackinaw Island. If you're unfamiliar with Mackinaw Island, it is a very small island up in Michigan. It is between the upper and the lower peninsula, and it's in Lake Huron. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that right. I apologize if I am not pronouncing it correctly. But we're just gonna roll with it right now. And it is a very, very small island. So it's about 8 miles all the way around. And if you cut right through the middle of it, it's about 3 to 4 miles in the middle. They have a lot of really cool history on the island, and I just wanted to give you guys some information in case if you wanted to go and check it out sometime. And we've been there quite a lot over the years. I've been visiting there ever since I was a little girl, so I'll be showing a couple of photos from the past, as well as a couple of photos from our recent visit. But before we get into all of the information that you need to know about Mackinaw Island, I do want to remind you guys that I do have a blog and an art gallery where I sell many art pieces. Right now I have a little over 20 in my art gallery, and I just wanted to remind you guys to please go and check it out. I have plenty of options in terms of sizes and prices, and I try to keep them as affordable as I possibly can. One of my pieces that I just recently made is going to be this one right here. It's called Home. It is an 18 by 24 piece. It is on a watercolor canvas, and it's made with spray paint and acrylic paint. This one kind of hits home a little bit, and ironically it is also called Home. I just really love the mountains, and I can't wait to be able to get back out there and to explore more and to get out and do some hiking this year. I'm pretty excited about that. I just wanted to let you guys know that there are other options and there are more things going on than just this YouTube channel. So please go check out my art gallery. I'm going to leave a little link down in the description below so that you can go ahead and click, and it'll directly take you to my art gallery, where if there's anything that you really like, you can go ahead and click the buy now button and it'll be yours today. So Mackinaw Island is one of those places that hundreds of thousands of people go and visit a year. It is one of those places where it's really difficult to go visit in the winter time, so I highly suggest that you go and see it in the summer or in the spring. Reason being is that in the winter the lake tends to freeze over and you're not going to be able to actually get over to Mackinaw Island unless if you take a snowmobile, go at full throttle, and don't stop until you actually get to the island itself, which is very dangerous and I do not recommend. One of the fascinating things about Mackinaw Island is that back in the late 1890s they actually got cars banned from the island itself. I think it might have been due to the fact that they were trying to cut back on pollution, and also the island is only 8 miles around. It's not very big at all, and so having a car on the island would be a absolute nightmare, especially trying to get anywhere. So with this ban, they actually made it so that the only things that you could do to get around the island was walk, ride a horse, or bike. Bikes are really the most popular thing on the island. They are super easy to rent. If you would like to, you can even bring your own bike. You just have to pay to actually have it transferred on the ferry. And on the actual island itself, there is a lot of really cool history there. And also some really dark history. If you ever listened to the Lore podcast, he actually has a episode where he talks about Mackinaw Island and just how dark the history really is. One of my favorite things about it is that the Grand Hotel, which, as you may imagine, is grand, is actually built on a Indian cemetery. And they did not care when they built the hotel itself. They just looked at the cemetery and they went, we're not gonna move the bodies, poured a whole bunch of cement over the cemetery, and decided to build the Grand Hotel on top of the graveyard. Unfortunately, that also means that the Grand Hotel stands as being haunted. Very haunted. A lot of people say that they hear voices, that they can actually see the spirits of certain people that come and go. Famous people have gone there quite often just to see if they can get a glimpse of what the hauntings are like. If you're ever interested in lore, you should definitely go and check it out. It has a lot of really cool but dark history, and Mackinaw Island has always been one of my favorite places to visit throughout the year. So that episode in particular is definitely one of my favorites, and I will leave a link in the description for the Lore podcast for you down below. But besides there being hauntings at the Grand Hotel, which is super freaking expensive to stay at, it's about $149 a night, which is absolutely insane. But considering that Mackinaw Island is also kind of a rich island, it's not all that surprising. The other really cool thing is that you can go and explore the Fort Mackinac, or Mackinaw, depending on how you want to pronounce it. Both pronunciations are correct according to the locals that live in the area. So no matter how you look at the spelling and how you pronounce it, you're more than likely correct, unless if you totally obliterate the name itself on purpose, then that's just being stupid. So just be aware of that. Fort Mackinac is not that big, but it is pretty cool to go and explore. It has 14 buildings in the actual fort itself. All of them have been fully restored. Every day that they shoot a cannon at certain times, which is kind of cool. It doesn't actually have a cannonball in it, so that's kind of sad if you're into that sort of thing. But it is cool to see the actual recreation of the cannon itself and what it represents for them. Fort Mackinac is kind of an interesting piece of history. It's been kind of pushed around from one side to the other, and Mackinaw Island itself has been through quite a lot. If you ever decide to go there, then I definitely recommend pretty much checking out everything you can. The ferry tickets are about $25 to $30 for adults, and they're $15 for kids. So if you just want to spend an entire day on the island, you will have plenty of time to check out everything that you want to see. Like I said, it's not that big. And if you're into those kind of walking and biking sort of scene, then this is definitely the place for you. They also have plenty of shops in the area that sell plenty of items that you can buy. But their most famous item is actually going to be fudge. Believe it or not, Kilwins actually used to have a fudge shop on the island. They were one of the very first to actually be there. Unfortunately, due to people stealing their recipe and other people opening fudge shops, Kilwins had to take their shop off of the island and bring it into Mackinaw City. That's really unfortunate because I used to work for Kilwins and I love their fudge, but sometimes you have to protect the business. The other really cool thing about Mackinaw Island is that once a year they hold a lilac festival. It's about 11 days long, which to me is crazy, but if you're into those really long festivals, then this might be the one for you. The Lilac Festival has a lot of things that are going on the island. They have everything from having a kids play session to a 10K run and walk, to going out and having a parade at the very end. We've been there a couple of times for the festival, but this year in particular we decided to go and do the 10K run and walk. The 10K run and walk was brutal, very brutal, and the beginning of the race was pretty much all uphill for a good mile and a half. So if you are not a physically fit person or you have not trained in some kind of way, I do not recommend running the race because it is so brutal within the first mile and a half. After that, things kind of calm down and it's pretty much downhill from there. You can also have the option of just walking the actual course itself. To me, it's not as fun, but if you do like just to walk and kind of enjoy yourself and take your own pace, then that is something that I would recommend over doing the actual run itself. And of course, after you do visit Mackinaw Island, we do recommend that you go ahead and stay in Mackinaw City. There is a couple of cool places in Mackinaw City, but it is really small. There's not really a lot to do other than to camp, drink, have some really good food, and just try to enjoy the atmosphere itself. The only thing that kind of sucks during the summer is that there are a lot of mosquitoes. So you do need to make sure that you have bug spray or some kind of repellent to make sure that you don't get eaten alive, because that does tend to happen. If you are one of those people that likes mosquito nets, then obviously wear a mosquito net, like with your hat or something like that, to help prevent the amount of bites that you get. There are diseases going around right now, especially with mosquitoes carrying them. So just kind of be aware of that whenever you do go visit Mackinaw City or Mackinaw Island. Okay, you guys, I hope that this little video about Mackinaw Island helped you guys a little bit. I know that there are some people who have never heard of Mackinaw Island before or have never been to Michigan. So I'm hoping that this little video will help you guys to make that step to go and visit Mackinaw Island itself. It's a very pretty island, and we go there every single year for a family trip. We are thinking about going again next year, maybe trying 10K run one more time. Who knows, maybe this time I will actually place. For those of you who do follow my father, Carl Denninger, who also runs the marketticker.org, he placed third in his division out of about 1,100 people. That is insane. I placed fourth in my division, so I didn't actually get anything, but you know, it's a pride thing for being able to place fourth out of about 1,100 people. That's really cool to see, and to also show that my, you know, hard work as a runner has really paid off. So if you guys are ever interested or have any questions or anything like that, please feel free to ask. I'm going to go ahead and put a link in the description down below with all of the information you need to know about Mackinaw Island itself. And like I said, my blog and art stuff is going to be down there too. I hope you guys will come and help me out and support my journey and follow along as I give you guys more information about what is happening and places that I highly recommend that you go visit. If you're unsure about where to stay while you're visiting Mackinaw Island, we actually like to stay at a campground. It's called the Wilderness Campground. It is beautiful. They have lake view campsites, but they also have regular ones as well. If you have dogs, they do have a dog beach, which is super awesome. And even though the water is super cold year-round, we do highly recommend that you come and check that place out and take advantage of what they have to offer. So thank you guys so much for watching and for supporting and for following along. I know I haven't been keeping up with this channel as much as I probably should, but things have been super crazy at home. So please go and visit my blog, which is www.sdtraveler.org. Again, that's www.sdtraveler.org. I talk about all of my travel experiences, where I've been, what I like to do, how to save some money, and even just my day-to-day life experiences. So please go and follow along on this journey that we call life. Thank you guys so much for watching, and here's the big question. Are you gonna go and visit Mackinaw Island this year, or are you gonna do it next year? Let me know in the comments below. Thank you guys so much, and stay tuned for the next video. Bye guys.